Greatest comedy ever? Now, for a lot of people, those are fighting words. But this is mine. Duck Soup. This is my Marx Brothers collection from when they were at Universal Pictures. They made 5 movies there. All of them are classics. And Duck Soup is considered to be the best among them. But it was also the movie that derailed their career in a lot of ways. It was the last movie they did with Universal Pictures because it was a bomb. It was considered kind of too dark for the time. It's 1933. The Marx Brothers are riding high. They've had one hit after another. People love their zany, madcapped energy. Groucho, Harpo, Chico, and for some reason Zeppo, the Marx brother, that he's just sort of there in every movie. He's never really given anything funny to do. He's just kind of there. I guess he had to be the straight man. He was fine at it, but I never found him particularly memorable. Anyway, Duck Soup is a political satire. It's basically Groucho takes over this country. He becomes its leader, and he ends up plunging the country into war. And it's got Chico and Harpo running around as spies. They're working for the opposition, but then they're working for Groucho, and you don't even really know what side they are. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Every scene is just an excuse to fit as much comedy into that scene as possible. This is a lot like Airplane or Naked Gun or movies like that have that boom, 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 boom comedy, like one after another after another. But unlike those movies, the plot here does not matter at all. There's the famous story of Airplane was actually a remake of a movie, and of a serious dramatic movie, as was Doctor Strangelove. And they took those previous movies and they made that the spine, the story, the strong story that those other movies had, they made that the spine of their comedies. Here, the spine is barely there, and it's okay. The story doesn't matter. It's all about the jokes. It's all about making you laugh. That's what the Marx Brothers were there to do. After this, they made some good movies, Night at the Opera being probably the best one, but they lost kind of they were always saddled with, like, there was always a young couple, they weren't there for the comedy, they were there to provide some romance because the studio thought that was needed, and there's musical numbers and stuff like that basically just weren't necessary. They got in the way. This is the best of the Marx Brothers movies, in my opinion, by a mile, because this was them really exercising the power that they had at the time to make the movie they wanted to make exactly the way that they wanted to make it. It's smart, it's funny, it's well acted. You listen to Groucho Marx and you can't believe how fast this guy talks. And it's juxtaposed with Harpo, who doesn't speak at all. There's this great scene between the two of them where, Harpo is snuck into Groucho's house, and he's broken a mirror, which brings Groucho running to find out what exactly happened. And in the time that he has, Harpo dresses up like Groucho, puts the mustache on and everything. And they do this scene where Harpo has to pretend to be Groucho's reflection. And every moment is perfect. It's kind of unbelievable how perfect every moment is. He mimics he just completely mirrors him and doubles him. And then when he breaks that, when Groucho, he does this spin, and Harpo just pretends to do it. I've watched this movie for 20 some years now. It makes me laugh every single time. I did my top 100 favorite movies earlier this year. This was just shy of the top 10. This was number 11. It is one of the greatest movies ever made. In my opinion, it is the greatest comedy ever made. Some of you might go, it looks old, 1933. It was, so long ago. It was almost 90 years ago. It's not going to make me laugh. It's in black and white. I'm not going to get the jokes. I'm not going to get the references. I don't get all of the references, and it still makes me laugh. These were the masters of comedy, Groucho especially, and you owe it to yourself to seek this movie out, turn it on, open yourself up to the experience, and find out what comedy was in the hands of geniuses.
Their worlds. Sort of gave myself the challenge of, okay,